Hello and welcome to Monster Mash 2K19. This is day one of my retrospective / going through bad and kind of underrated horror films this year for the second annual Monster Mash movie marathon. Again, it's my second year to do it, so I'm very, very happy that the first the first film that we were going to be watching and talking about today, well, I've already watched it, but I'm going to give you a recommendation to watch it, is Manos, The Hands of Fate. Oh yes, the very notorious film. This whole film has a lot of history behind it. It's dubbed one of the worst films of all time. Which, I can think of a few other ones, but it's not the worst film. That's kind of hyperbolic to say, but this all comes from one man, and the whole film is based on a bet. So, the plot summary is this family goes on vacation and they stumble onto this. They kind of go off the beaten track, and they kind of visit this abandoned looking house. So he decide to go in, and they get met by Torgo, which he goes, "You can't stay here, the master won't approve of you staying here," but they have to. And the Torgo and the master both are in love with Mike's wife. So it turns out that something's evil is afoot, of course. So the master and Torgo are both fighting for Mike's wife, and it's just crazy. The first aspect you will be hit with straight in the face is that the bad dubbing of all the characters in this film. One thing that I'll say is that the crew had little to no experience with film, like at all, and it really shows. Over the course of the review, that aspect of they didn't have experience will come back tenfold, because if you don't know like how to frame a shot correctly, you're just gonna do like the bare minimum of effort and the bare minimum of cinematography. And it's gonna be next point I'll get to, is that the cinematography is there's no cinematography. They're all kind of stationary shots on a tripod, which it's okay, but you kind of need a bit more motion when you're making film. And sometimes like you'll think that, oh, this is gonna like turn into an over the shoulder shot, and it doesn't. But you're expecting it to like turn into that, but it doesn't. It's really frustrating to watch. So at the start of the movie, we see that they're having car troubles, and Mike's daughter is getting tired and she's getting cranky, and they have a dog, so the dog is acting up as well. So what happens is they go to this old abandoned house, and we get introduced to possibly the star of this film, which is Torgo. And Torgo is the master's henchman, and we'll get to the master in a few minutes. But this character is iconic in the bad movie world as just being so bad. It's just hilarious. His walking animation looks like he shot himself, or he keeps shitting himself. Like, and he's doing like the John Wayne walk as well. Like, it's really fucking funny. It's gas. It's just amazing, amazing to see him walk like to and fro. Cause like there's this oh my god, there's this piece of music in the film, and like, that was another point that I get to. But again, I have to talk about the music. The music is just the worst score, because it's basically just like 3 notes over and over and over again. Like when Torg is like on screen, like it's just this.
Like I'm.
Two good aspects to this film. I think most fans of this will like say is Torgo and the Master's cape. The Master has this absolute amazing looking cape. Like, it's just really, really cool. Like, legit. Like, it's like, so he opens his like arms like really wide, right? And like he does this like throughout the film. But like when he does that, you see like he has like the cape, but like on the cape there's like these like left and right palm these left and right like palm imprints on his cape. And it looks really, really, really cool. And it's just a shame that most of the film really isn't that cool. So the acting, again, I have a serious problem with the acting, in like movies like this, and like to new fans of kind of this so bad it's good kind of genre, The Room or Birdemic or something like that. One aspect of it is the fact that the acting is either too much or too little. So they either overact or they don't act at all. And like I've seen like so many bad films over the years, and that's one aspect I think is really quite prominent in these kind of so bad that they're good films. There's a scene in the film, and this is quite possibly the funniest scene in the whole film. Actually, second funniest probably. The scene in the script would have probably went like this. Mike gets knocked out by Torgo. Torgo ties him to a tree and leaves him there to die or something like that, right? But like it doesn't happen that way. So what happens is Torgo is just struggling to try and drag this guy like to like the spot where he needs to go. But it's just really funny because like he can't do it. You just can't do it because he either like he's too heavy or like Torgo is like too weak. Like it's just really, really funny. And another funny scene in it is this is like just the worst scene. I don't know, like just like they think that the audience like doesn't actually know what's happening. So what they do is, so we get introduced to the master, and before that, like, there's just like a painting, like, of the master and his dog. That's it. But again, like, this, like, they think, like, the audience is really, really stupid. So what they do is they like fade between the master's painting and the master himself. Like, we're not that stupid. Like, I know, like, we're watching Manos face, but we're not that stupid. Like, we're actually, like, laughing at the film, like, not actually taking it seriously. There is a point in this film where it kind of goes off the reservation for me, and like, it veers into obscurity and batshitness, right? And it's right here where so a bit of backstory here. So the master is kind of like this monk for Manos, and Manos is the god of destruction or something like that. I don't know. So he needs to make a sacrifice or something like that. So what happens is, so they bring in people to kill them, and the master gets more power. So he gets ever closer to the god that he wants to kill to be the new god. Basically that. So the master has like wives of different people that have came to the house and never left. So he basically like traps like these women to forcefully to marry him, which is kind of messed up. All of the wives wake up and they just start. So it's just a really funny sight to see, like, the master waking his wives and then just bickering, and like just like a quick cut to his face, and he just looks really disappointed. Like, he just looks really disappointed. Like, oh, why did I do this type thing? So that's just the backstory of it. But what kind of makes it really, really crazy is that the wives just start fighting because they don't know what to do with the child. They don't know what to do with the little girl with the family. But it's just really funny because, like, they just start fighting like that. Like, this is like another, like, really odd. Like, it's not even like that funny, but it's kind of odd. One of the oddest scenes in the film is when the master corners Torgo, because Torgo is basically like assaulting like the women when they're asleep. Like, this is really creepy. So what happens is the master has like a big stick, and like he wiggles like it to Torgo, and like Torgo basically acts like it's like made of lava. Like, it's just really stupid. Like there's no point of any of this. Like, this is crazy. Like, and this is where the whole film goes off the rails, cause like we cut back from where Torgo is getting like he's like doomed. Like, his days are up because the master wiggled the stick at him. Like, and that's when it really, really like jumped the fucking rails and really went to town on the crazy side. This film is so odd in so many ways. it just keeps getting worse and worse as the film progresses. Like, it just goes like, there's like a peak to this film. I think the peak is like halfway, and then like after that it just goes really downhill until the very end of the film, which is a good ending. I'll get onto that in a second. But and it just really feels long. Like, because like nothing is happening, like it really just like drag on. Like, it's just so long. But it's like it's an hour and like eight minutes or something, or an hour and 18 minutes. But it just feels like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because nothing is really happening, and like there's no real like there's no real cinematography. Just really like just very very bad sound, and like that, and like those two things really drag out the film, to me anyway. So the ending. We'll talk about this. The ending is actually really quite good, but it doesn't. Okay, so the ending to Manos Sans Fate, spoilers, is that the family end up getting trapped by the master, and Mike, our lead, and the guy who directed, produced, and wrote the script, actually like becomes the new Torgo, which it's actually like a good ending, because you don't want to like it's horror film, right? So you don't want that kind of sweet ending. You want something like a bit dark, and like I think like out of all of this film, I think the ending is kind of like, oh shit, okay, that happened. That's kind of, it actually works, but because the film is so bad, that just kind of like appears. It feels like there's like a little peak at the end, and like that's all it is. So it's just at the end of a really really shitty movie. But there you go. So anyway, guys, that's it for day one of the Monster Mash movie marathon 2K19. I'll see you tomorrow.